You got to cast comfortable. That's what I always say. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast, where we take a nutcracker and crack these movies open for you from the 1890 studios. My name is Dale.
And my name is Adam, and yes, my fantasy football team did clinch a playoff spot this weekend. Thank you for asking. This is Patrick, and I'm really upset with my fantasy football team, so I'm kind of out of my place right now, so welcome.
And this is John, and I did not prepare anything to say here.
Classic John. Today we're going over Pumping Iron. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. And Gremlins, please stick around. Pack Studio. John's here once again. John, what's going on, man?
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys.
I'm glad you made it to the 1890 studios.
What do you think of our improvements?
We put a little insulation up to give it a little sound deadening.
It's nice. Last time I was at the Lakefront Studio, so it compares.
Okay.
Decently.
You know, it's luxurious Lakefront Studios. I mean, those are just the studios we record at over by APs. I mean, that's top of the line. Luxury, we're all relaxed, but here it's kind of like we're in the the basement studio. It's down, it's dirty. We got to scrape to the bottom of these movies.
Amazon kicked us down 2 floors.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Facebook wanted the 1 floor above us. We said no. Bezos came in, threw some money at us, so here we are.
Well, we're renting the top floor to Bezos, and we're making money on
that's
this
what I'm
place,
saying.
so.
I don't care where you put me, man. We just want to cast.
Right.
Adam, thanks for being on the podcast,
Dude, anytime.
It's
thanks
good
thanks for having me.
And I'm going to come back to you, but Patrick, what's going on with your fantasy team? You getting smoked or what? What's the deal?
Dude,
He's getting smoked.
Is this fantasy Formula One or what is this?
I wish. At least that way I would have an excuse because I don't know too much about Formula One. But
Right.
Prior to 10 weeks ago, I prided myself on my fantasy football skills, and then my team took a huge dump, and I'm 1-10, I think, right now. So
Oh, jeez.
trying to get out of last place.
Adam, so you're just smoking them right now?
Dude, I'm 9-2. Killing it.
9-2, nice
Clinched
winner.
playoff spot. First team to clinch a playoff spot.
John, are you a fantasy football person? Or are you fantasy Formula One?
I do bad quarterback fantasy.
Okay.
And I'm doing terrible at it. So I've probably got some really good fantasy
Oh,
players.
wow, yeah.
Wentz, Matt Ryan. I'm set.
Okay. I don't know who those are, but they sound respectable. Either way.
Is there a Netflix fantasy podcast?
If they're
Or fantasy
yeah, we're going to start
league?
one. Yeah, it's right after this one. It airs right after this. Adam, you are the docket master this week. What the heck? You put these together. We threw some movies around. Now, John, Donna didn't reach out to you, didn't copy you on some of these emails, so you didn't get on all of them, but you did watch Gremlins back in the day. I mean, it's in, 1984 film? So, I mean, you've seen it in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 15 years ago.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty fresh on it.
Okay, because you accidentally watched Sing Street.
Yeah. I accidentally watched a good movie.
Yeah, so that's coming up in the future. We're going to have to...
Happy accidents.
We're going to have to have you back for sure.
Well, so this is the month of December. So we're going to do a Christmas movie every episode leading up to the holiday of Christmas.
Oh, good idea.
So preparing for this, I Googled, all right, best Christmas movies of all time. Got a top 25 list, best Christmas movies. All right, perfect.
Sure.
Cross-reference that list to Netflix. Only one was on Netflix that was on that list.
Okay.
And that was Gremlins.
Okay.
So I've never seen Gremlins before.
Yeah, neither have I.
So I popped it on here. So that's our Christmas movie of the week. And the other ones, well, whatever. Exploring. So.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'll take ownership of that.
Were you on board with some of these picks? I thought you were. The second I said, Adam, you're the docket master, I'm like, wait a second. Maybe John's a docket master.
Yeah.
These are all over the place.
It's a docket smorgasbord.
Right.
It's a cornucopia. Really.
And I remember because I spoke with Adam about a couple of these. Pumping Iron, I always was interested in watching it. Don't Be a Menace, I think I saw last time I saw Gremlins, so I wanted to see if it held up.
Okay.
So I'm all about creating good discussions here.
And you're going from one end to the other and then back into the middle somewhere. Cool. All right, well then, let's start out. Well, first up, Pumping Iron. Somebody got the synopsis right there before we roll the trailer?
Arnold Schwarzenegger lifts weights.
Thank you.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome to this year's Mr. Olympia Championship.
It's a bodybuilding competition. Kind of looks like the tunnel in Gladiator.
Lou Ferrigno. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Their story became
have to
legend.
do everything possible to win.
One would become a star, the other an
Dreamt about Arnold last night. I said, Louis is waiting for you in the shadows.
Well, I've not been beaten for the last 7 years.
You're going to be the biggest thing that ever went out on that platform at 275 pounds, Louis. They know that, and he knows it.
She's in shape. Fine.
Lots of flexing.
I hope he is.
Off the Broadway, let's go. I want to beat him.
Before they were stars.
Goes down with him. Let the judges make a comparison. You look at your arms like you're admiring, and then you go, boom.
When it comes to the
They
day of the
fought to be
contest, I will mix him up. He will be ready to lose. I called my mother yesterday already and I said I won.
When we get out there, we have only one thought in mind. We're going to win.
No more.
It's going to be very hard to beat. Very hard.
Winner of the 1975 Mr. Olympia is...
You'll never get this chance again.
Pumping iron.
She's gonna fix me up with your sister.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Arnold. What a... Wow.
Yep.
What a film. Let's be honest. So, Adam, what? I mean, yeah, Patrick went over for a second. I mean, this is just the bodybuilding. What is the year? 1975 Mr. Olympia Championship from Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, California, to the showdown in Pretoria. Amateur and professional bodybuilders prepare for the 1975 Mr. Olympia and Mr. Universe contests in this part scripted, part documentary film. 7.5 IMDb. This is a documentary sport. 85 minutes long, but it felt like it was a lot longer. I don't know. Did 1977 stuff drag, John, or what?
Yeah, I'm not sure if documentaries were just made differently in the 70s. I feel like there really wasn't much talking, and it was just a bunch of video. It was just kind of watching things happen and just saying, okay, I guess this is the next scene, and let's just keep going with it.
Right. Yeah, like it did have a story progression. I mean, they were telling the story of the 1975 Mr. Olympia, and they're following these characters as they grew. But yeah, in 1977, they did it a lot differently.
Right. Especially the documentaries you see now, full of facts and details about the background. It's just, here's these two guys.
Right.
And then they went.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. So it was a little different, and it had like that 70s music, like porno music playing while, you know, greased up men are flexing. I didn't know what I was watching there for a little while. I mean, exactly. I was like, man, this is...
Was it just you, or did Julie sit down for a bit of this?
She couldn't watch this.
You didn't let her?
You'd have to hose her down afterwards. Patrick, 1977 documentary. I mean, about weightlifting. Mr. Olympia. This thing have legs? Did it keep you involved the whole time?
No, so like we talk about vacuuming movies, we talk about like easy action movies. This was kind of like a pay your bills movie for me because I had it on my iPad and I was kind of like doing dishes at one point, and then I had to go sit down, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be paying too much attention to this movie,
right?
But I know it'll catch my eye if something's going on. It's going to pick my. It's like, all right, look at this for a second. So I'm paying the Comcast bill. Write a check, done.
Right.
Got Nipsco, done. And the whole time I'm like, this movie's supposed to be catching my eye. Rewind a little bit. Nothing came crazy until like the last 5 minutes. And I mean, if you can imagine the first 80 minutes of it, it's just those guys lifting weights and then 5 minutes of laying. Right. Here's your winner.
Right.
I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
But there is a winner at the end.
Sure, there is. Anybody can quick Google 1975 Mr. Olympia. Adam, did this one carry you the whole way through? I mean, did you trail off, or were you psyched the whole time? Tell me what you think about it.
I think Patrick kind of nailed it. It's kind of a good multi-tasking movie. I think I was playing FIFA while I watched this movie, and it was good to have like in the background, and then when I heard something interesting, I popped in and listened.
Right.
You know, like, this is how little prep I do when I go into the movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, man, this is a new documentary. How'd they get all this old footage?
Right.
Like what? Like, did they just find this, or was this a gold mine? But now I'm like, oh, it was made in '77, and I'm just now watching it. Yeah, I thought it was like completely new, just came out.
That's exactly what I thought. I pulled up the IMDb because I'm like, man, when is this going to kick out of like vintage footage and like start becoming like Arnold Schwarzenegger's tale? But it never did. It's from 1977.
Yeah. When I was doing the research for this movie, there's just like a slew of movies just like it, where it's documentaries about guys that lift weights.
Right.
And so another one's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Another of them's called like Pumping Gold or something, which I assume is about Gold's Gym.
Sure.
But like, there's a whole like genre of this sort of movie for, I don't know if it's just tethered or tailored to people that like to lift weights and need like an extra boost to go, but there's a bunch of movies out there like it, and this was the best one. So.
Right.
Dale, what did you think?
I mean,
how did it drag for you?
Well, it definitely dragged. It definitely, like, it tried to create it was following a story, but it followed it way too slowly for, I think, 2017 standards. But it was interesting to see the progression. Since it felt long, it showed a lot. Like, it showed the introduction of who's the guy who went against Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Lou Ferrigno.
Yes.
The Hulk.
Right. So, like, his upbringing as opposed to Arnold's, like, Arnold was already a star. He was, pretty much slated to win and win everything. He's just the best of the best. I mean, this is an up-and-comer. He was training in, like, the back room with these, he was like training with like car tires and stuff while Arnold was in like a professional gym and stuff like that. So it was interesting to see that, but also Arnold Schwarzenegger's like attitude and how he was like geared to win. He was training for something, I think like a year or 2 years previous, and his father passed away in Austria, and he's like, sorry, Ma, like I gotta keep training, gotta keep my head in the game. Like that's crazy dedication. Am I right on those facts or what?
I hate to burst your bubble, Dale.
What?
But that's not true.
What do you mean? Talk to me about it.
So, again, doing the notes for the movie.
Sure.
Do a little bit of research. Come to find out that a lot of the stories that Arnold told throughout the movie were heavily embellished.
No kidding.
Yeah, the director told him to kind of like drama it up, or else this is going to be a crazy, boring thing.
Right.
So, I mean, like, nobody's going to miss their dad's funeral.
Right.
Even if they're in a bodybuilding competition. It was all...
Oh, no kidding. Okay, well then I don't think Arnold's as much as a savage as I thought. So it tried to drag me somewhere else. That's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, I didn't because I didn't watch the trailer, because now the trailer plays it up like it's Lou Ferrigno versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. But when you start watching it, it was just like, okay, this is bodybuilding, blah blah blah, and I'd say like almost halfway through, then Lou Ferrigno comes in.
Right. There's
and then now it's gearing up to a showdown. Right. I mean, I learned a little bit of things that I thought were interesting, like. I didn't know Arnold Schwarzenegger was like 6-time bodybuilding champ, and he went against Lou Ferrigno, like two actors that going against each other in bodybuilding. I was like, oh, that happened? That's real life? That's interesting. And I really liked Lou Ferrigno's dad. Like, like someone like he was like
manager.
He was like the guy from Rocky, like the coach from Rocky. Like I was like, this guy. There's no way this guy's like a real person. Like, he's like, you gotta want it, son.
Well, he was telling, and it was so funny because Lou Ferrigno's like, he's just like he just appears like a dopey, just all I do is lift weights, and his dad is just riding him like. Come on, you got to do this, and Arnold's going to act like this.
Can't put so much oil on your back; it'll look lumpy. Or
he's like, don't lean forward because your back stretches out, or don't lean too much back because your back scrunches out. Something like that. Like
it's like, look at your arms, like you want to admire them, and then go, bam! What do you think of these?
Yeah, and his dad's just this 150-pound like bro.
Yeah, that was probably the most entertaining part of it.
Right. Well, yeah, but it was really interesting that they brought some characters that were like amateurs, and it showed how they're like moving up through the ranks, and then the story flipped to the Lou Ferrigno and Arnold Schwarzenegger side. It was like almost like two different docs.
Yeah, they had a real good like story arc going with the American middle school teacher.
Yeah, I like that.
But then just cut.
Boom, cut.
We're
well,
moving on.
he got third place in some amateur competition. Then boom, we never heard any more about his story again.
Yeah, he looked like he was so heartbroken, but then he was like, "Oh, I need to go congratulate." I was like, "Wow, there's a good sportsmanship story right there." But no, we're done with whatever he had. And there's zero content left with whatever story arc he had, and they just moved right on. And I was like, "That's disappointing."
So, John, are you like a dedicated bodybuilder, like doc watcher?
I did not know that there was that many muscles in the human body.
Oh, yeah.
Each time they flexed, I was like, what is going on here? The middle school teacher especially, I was like, all right, so he has 3 kids and teaches and works out, 6 hours a day?
Look like that? Minimum. Yeah.
No.
High energy. Trick.
I am all about running and don't lift weights at all, so I don't know what any of this is.
Okay.
It was just interesting. That Gold's Gym, though, back in the 70s, looks terrifying. Like, the guys that are in there, there's no average. There's no, like, oh, that guy looks pretty, like, muscular.
Right.
No, it's just to the max.
Everybody's maxed.
Not only that, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they had, like, wood-paneled walls. And, like, all in the background.
Gym?
Yeah, in the gym. Like, you go to a gym today, it's kind of like concrete wall, and then you got, like, a mirror
A bunch of mirrors everywhere.
But, like, it looked like 70s Z-brick posted up everywhere and just wood panel walls.
Because they're not there to look at themselves, man. They're there to just get swole. That's just what they do. Arnold's there.
We have to pump.
Yeah, exactly. They're there to pump, man.
No time to look at myself in the mirror.
So now I'm really disappointed because one of my main things was like, man, Arnold is such a savage. He explained, and I don't know if Adam or Patrick, if this is part of like the mental game, but he was explaining for a chunk of the movie how getting in a bodybuilder's head would affect how he, I guess, just flexed in front of the judges. Like if you mentally think you're down in the game, you're going to be down in the game. Mm-hmm. So he like spent all this time. In fact, in the earlier part of the movie, somebody steals a bodybuilder's shirt and hides it. And so the whole day, this one bodybuilder's looking for a shirt, and he sets him on and off.
That was the middle school teacher.
Yeah, the middle school teacher. He gets his head all wrapped around like, well, who took my shirt? And then some guy goes, hey, the other guy took the shirt. Boom. Not spoiler alert because it's a doc, so screw it. He gets third place, and the guy who stole his shirt gets first. So like they kind of prove that getting in their head like affected their flexing game. But anyway, Arnold went through a huge thing of, he was doing a sit-down interview and said, yeah, getting in their head is half working out, half like getting in their head. And so he was like, they showed at the end of the trailer, he was sitting with the other guy, said, yeah, I'm going to have a date with your sister. Like everything he did was just trying to cut him down. I thought that was interesting, but now I think, is that fake played up for the doc? Do we know anything?
All I know is that some of the stories were embellished. He had an interview a little bit later on in his life, and they were talking about how, like, oh yeah, the director told me to play up some of this and play up some of that. But I mean, even if that is his strategy going into the sport, I mean, like, you might have won 7 times, but like, did you win dirty or did you win clean? Like, is it?
Well, I mean, that's all part of it. That's all part of winning. I think.
I agree. That's part of sports.
Exactly.
Like, there's a lot of professional athletes out there that just trash talk. Like,
sure.
I actually used to do it a lot in high school sports. I tell guys are scared.
You did that. Sports. You did that to me yesterday. You told me I was scared.
Yeah, like they would come down the lane. I already blocked them once. I'm like, you're scared. You're gonna get blocked again and get embarrassed. Like, you get in their head, and like some people that are very calm and collected can rise above that and like channel that out and just play their game, which is really good athletes. But a lot of people will just like they'll go at you harder or they'll back off a little bit. You alter their play.
Sure.
Yeah,
mentally,
But it's like you said, it's half like you're gonna work out real hard, then you're gonna flex, and you're gonna go up in front of the judges. Like,
right,
it's all about confidence. Going in front of those judges is all about confidence.
I understand that, but like when
that's what I learned from this bodybuilding.
from your time in the competition.
Yeah.
Second place ahead of that Jersey teacher.
How could you give him 6 on the abs?
Right. Yeah, no, it was pretty interesting how they did it because they actually before.
I have no idea how they judged him either.
Well, they judged him the day before.
Who looks most like Hercules? Basically.
No, it's like symmetry. And it's like body, like size, like your height and your width compared to like how your muscles look. So some guy, the teacher was getting bad mouth because his chest was too big compared to his body. He was too short. Yeah, it was too chesty. He was a little too chesty, a little too busty. So, no, but it was very interesting because another thing is these stadiums, even in the amateur, like what that teacher was doing, and it's amateur bodybuilding, this place was packed.
In South Africa.
South Africa, this place is packed. Every seat in the house, people are on their feet, clapping like they've never clapped
like the
before.
Super Bowl,
dude. I've never seen they just start flexing on stage, and people are grown men are jumping. They're jumping up and down, just giving this guy the most praise, and I'm going like, who's leaving their house to view these people? I mean, South Africa, there's really not much going on. I suppose.
Hey, Bob. Sorry, I gotta tell you, I'm taking a vacation in 2 weeks. I'm going to South Africa for the World Bodybuilding Championship. You're doing what?
Yeah, I got my Arnold shirt, and I got
my big foam Arnold finger.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to flex the back.
I'm gonna finger on.
I'm gonna go nuts when that back flexes.
See, it's like so people, dude. Packed arena. Dude, the people are talking about this. There's magazines. I mean, obviously, the big documentary is made about it. When's the last? Did you guys know there was when is the next bodybuilding championship? Anybody?
Dude. CrossFit stuff just happened a couple in August.
The CrossFit Nationals?
It's on ESPN, the Ocho.
So this isn't a joke. There's CrossFit, and I watched it, and it's intense and moving.
Were you there live? It's okay. Safe space.
I had to watch it on my iPad. I couldn't get out to San Bernardino in time, but
you're a fake fan.
These people made it out to South Africa. Anyway, so I mean, okay, real quick. I mean, John, we kind of blew the documentary. Not the ending, but we're unraveling it. Is it worth a watch? Is it where do you gotta be to watch this one? I mean, we watch for the cast because we do it for the people, but do the people need to watch this one, or in what place do they need to be?
I can't recommend it.
Okay.
I know that I'm looking at this. The IMDb 7.4, maybe for a documentary that's low. I don't know how it got that high. I completely agree with everyone who was doing other things at the same time. I was sadly watching it. You guys got the exact same.
You tuned in. Okay.
Yeah, you guys got the exact same experience I did. Yeah, just Google some type of 70s bodybuilding, and actually just that last part, because I'll give them credit, they make it a fun show at the end,
right?
When it's just everyone line up, start striking poses, switching around, it just seems crazy and off the wall, and I'm like, all right, that's a hilarious way to end a competition where you can't actually focus on anyone.
I liked how he said his name too, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting, and you were talking about just the last set where there's a top three, and it's like, okay, guys, flex. And they start. Now, Arnold would look at Lou Ferrigno and go, and whatever pose he was doing, he'd watch and then do the exact same one at the exact time. So the judges had both
side
visuals, like which one are you going to pick? And that's, again, Arnold's just watching him. He would sit, wait for him to flex, and then boom, match his pose. I thought that was, I'm disappointed that you said the thing that he didn't go home for his father's funeral. Okay,
I saw you saying it,
but
I don't want to.
But still, I think that mental game for me just made okay, it's a sport. It doesn't. I don't care if it's curling. I don't care if you're doing, you're playing soccer or whatever. The mental game is a huge portion of the sport, even in bodybuilding. So it was interesting to watch. But
it's kind of funny. I thought we all come in here and just trash on it, but when you actually talk about it, there's actually some things you learn from it.
Well, I mean, a documentary, you can't they're not trying to tell a story a strange way, and you didn't like how they told the story. This just exists,
and there's just a lot of dudes just lifting weights.
That's what they're doing. So you can start talking about how you just don't like bodybuilders, and then you're like, okay, you're just a bodybuild hater. But if you just look at it you got a bunch of guys competing to win a competition, it doesn't matter.
It's sports.
Is it racing? Is it football? There's the people trying to be the best at what they do, and it's just interesting to watch. Patrick, I mean, how about this? I'll send it to you for rewatch recommend. Where do you need to be to rewatch it or recommend it, or just don't? What do you think? Rewatch recommend.
Yeah, it's a specific type of person. Somebody who's really into working out. Somebody who really likes pumping iron. Somebody who gets that
titular line right there, folks. That's a podcast superstar.
But yeah, I personally am not going to watch it or rewatch it. I'm not going to recommend it unless there's somebody who's like
swole.
Not even swole. Like if you're trying to get into it and you want to see like start to finish how you can get to where you're going or what the end game looks like, Mr. Olympia. That's what I would go.
Yeah,
that's the person. But I mean,
and
every day isn't going to get it.
It is very 1977. That's another thing too. This is all grainy film footage, all shot in 4:3. So it's not. Yeah, it's all crank stuff. If you're watching the live feed, Patrick did the patented hand crank video camera. But you got to remember, you're going to be listening to like 70s porno music during the whole thing, which is pretty strange to watch while oiled men are flexing. Moving ahead, Adam, rewatch, recommend. Do you want to watch this one again or tell anybody?
No, I probably wouldn't watch it again. I recommend this movie to like Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
or Little Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Sure. That one too.
That's a 70s reference.
I think
it's a 1986 reference.
I'd say if you like sports, you like competition, you want to learn a little bit something about Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd say watch it. But you could definitely do something while you have it on.
Sure.
That's probably the best way to go about it.
You're not going to pull a lot out of it,
right? Rewatch? Nope. I'm not going to rewatch it.
One and done.
Yeah.
John, rewatch, recommend. What is it for you, man? Or are you going to? Who do you tell? Who do you tell to watch this one?
Whoever Adam's talking to. If someone brings it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that.
Right.
Like, what do you think? I'll be able to pause and then say, well, it's a bunch of grown men flexing.
Right.
I mean, granted, Arnold Schwarzenegger did make it with a lot of his hilarious comments, just his like dialogue running, be it true or not true. It's just him. It was hilarious back then because he is oozing with confidence and just cocky as hell.
Yeah.
I love that one. I've seen it before, the image of him on the couch just smoking after he now that I know that's after he won his like 6th straight title. It's just like
with a shirt that says Arnold's the champ.
Yeah, it's just like just smoking like that's just such it's such a good shot right there.
So no recommend, no rewatch.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's me too. I it was okay to watch. I don't think I could tell anybody to watch it, and I definitely am not going to return to it. But let's bring it down the liquor store aisle if we could. John, looking at you, liquor store aisle for this one.
Too easy on this one. Protein shake.
Okay.
Nothing of note for taste. You want to finish it quickly, and you probably don't care about it if you don't work out.
There you go. Nice work. Patrick, looking at you, man.
That's a really good one, John.
Thanks.
I'm impressed. I gave it vegetable oil because I don't want to drink it again.
You just want to wipe it all over your body?
And just cook some chicken.
Oh, I thought you meant wipe it on your body and flex in front of the lights. Maybe
no. My floors are slippery enough.
That's on a different podcast.
That's
Adam,
what everybody did after watching this.
Adam, bring us down the liquor store aisle, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say like give it like a pre-workout.
Okay.
Like you drink it and then you want to go pump, get jacked,
out,
so you can like try to look like Arnold.
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm on the same vein, man. I got vanilla muscle milk. It's just, you drink it once, you don't eat it again. You're not looking for your second refill. You already drank it once, and you're not going to share it with anybody because, hey, it's your muscle milk. It's kind of expensive stuff. So
this podcast, by the way, is brought to you by Muscle Milk.
Thank you, Muscle Milk, for supplying us all with 4 gallons of muscle milk each.
If you want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, drink the muscle milk to gain muscle fast. MuscleMilk.com.
Next one up, guys. We're talking about don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
That's the name.
That is a long title. It's like an emo band.
Isn't that hilarious?
I want you to finish school.
Miramax
Without
film.
education, the only kind of work you're going to get is
this is a
selling
Wayans
drugs,
brother film, so
I did not know that going in.
for Eddie Murphy.
Well, you couldn't tell with the Wayne brother right there?
Well, now that I told you, I should no prep before we start.
It's the motion in the ocean.
Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans.
And Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Keenan Ivory.
They're not bad.
Now, in a circular motion, rub your stomach and pat your head.
They just never had any role models.
Let me tell you young punks something. Don't let nobody give you
Bartholomew! Didn't I tell you to clean your room? We got a problem?
From the creators of Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2.
I said, do we have a problem?
Comes a movie the New York Post calls hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yo, man, you page me?
Yeah. You ready to be out?
Yeah, let's move.
one of the funniest comedy creations in years.
Dallas
Morningstar,
no.
And Gene Siskel says it's got a lot of big
Gene
laughs.
Siskel.
Now,
Who is
children,
that?
what do you say when
He
you
actually
meet a nice
passed
man?
away.
Are you my
Too soon.
Own the only DVD. Yeah. With 14 words in the title. Don't be a menace to South Central.
Well, congratulations. You got yourself a job.
While drinking your juice in the hood.
Hey, man, how you work this radio? One more time.
Okay, guys, it's another Wayans one. We got it up. It got 6.6 IMDb. It's a comedy crime, 89 minutes long, $3.8 million budget. It grossed 20 big ones, 20 mil, man. Patrick, you got a tagline right there or no?
Ashtray returns to the place he grew up in and meets his father and his basket case friends. That
was not a very excited tagline.
No, so not only that tagline was probably there's 3 or 4 more sentences after it because I was looking at it. There's a huge paragraph describing what this film is about. And I got through this first. I was like, this is not going to be good. Any character with the first name of Ashtray is just going to be bad. And then you turn it on, and the first thing it shows is a Wayne's Brother movie. And you're like, oh, God, no, not another one.
Right.
And then you start cursing Adam. I'm like, oh, why can't I be the docket master?
Well, no,
one
again,
more
this
time?
might have been a John. John's, if you're watching live, he'd put his hand up in, he's taking that one. He's taking that for the team. Okay,
Yeah.
John, 1996. Now, Scary Movie 1 and I didn't know this.
No.
The trailer showed...
Yeah, that is a huge mislead.
Because I thought Scary Movie came out in maybe the 2000s-ish.
It had to have.
Yeah.
There's no way it came out earlier.
Can we consult the Book of Knowledge?
I'm on it.
John, why did you throw this one onto the docket? Please explain.
So I
Hold yourself accountable in front of the Netflix Explorers.
We want answers.
So it came out when I was about
90s.
10 years old.
Okay.
I had seen it sometime around, I assume, when it came out or thereafter, and I remember enjoying it. And so I just I'm in that kind of mode of let's see what holds up over time.
Okay.
So I was on the
I like your head game there. Okay.
I listened to the Netflix news of what's coming next, and I believe Adam just ripped it apart, or he brought it up, and I just said, okay, I want to watch that one again.
So you defied
that. I wanted to get everyone together.
Okay, cool, man. I mean, we did watch it. I mean, Adam, do you rob this one or you watch the whole thing?
I got about halfway through.
Half rob. Now, you have the Book of Knowledge up. When did Scary Movie come out in relation to this?
2000.
Thank you.
So this trailer was what? Made after the movie was made?
Yeah.
It was probably like a rework. They probably looked at this movie like the original trailer was so bad we need to credit this movie to something that has some sort of stature so people will go back and watch it.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Scary Movie did. I mean, that actually I think holds up. I haven't watched it in some time, but I thought it was, take my strong hand, child. Like we were talking. So, I mean, maybe they just tried.
The first image that came up was Carmen Electra running in the first scene.
Okay.
Because their implants stabbed.
Maybe that's why I thought it had such a rewatch. But so they just re-released the trailer and used the props from newer movies to promote an old movie.
Yeah.
Patrick, talk to me. You watched this one all the way through?
Yeah, I ended up sitting through this whole entire one because I got done with Pumping Iron. I was like, all right, on to the next one. And then, future spoiler alert, it took me 3 watches to get through all of Gremlins, so I didn't want to go back into it.
You just had to watch it once.
It took me 3 sittings to watch.
Okay.
Same here.
Gremlins.
Okay.
But I didn't want to go back into it. I was like, it's too early in the night.
Right.
I don't want to torture myself. And then I just ended up torturing myself with this movie because it's like it takes like the form of a scary movie.
Like
it takes
the
the
silliness
form of the movie, a scary movie, and the way that it kind of parodies a whole bunch of like scary movies here, scary movies there. But this one sort of parodied movies that were from the hood somehow. And I honestly, growing up in the region, I really don't know what it's like in the hood.
Is it Gary part of the region? I mean,
that wasn't my part of the region.
That's the pinnacle of the hood, right
This
there.
movie took place in Gary.
I mean, I'm not going to move forward on that. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to run with that because
gotta keep the Gary listeners.
Because it's true. Adam, what'd you think about this one?
Man,
I mean, you half robbed it. Why didn't you keep going? What stopped you?
I was just like, okay, I don't know. I didn't like it. It's just I don't think I laughed at all during it.
Okay.
I think this movie would have been really funny if I watched it in '98.
Yeah.
When I was 10. I think that would have been funny.
Right.
But now it's like, I'm like, God, this is just not funny. Like,
right.
There's recycling. Like, it's about the motion of the ocean. Like, we're just going to recycle jokes in a movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, there was nothing like, it was all just like stupid. And it was stupid. We had to make it even more stupid to be stupid. Like,
right.
It's just, there was nothing redeemable about it for me.
Right.
That's why Jenna came home when I was watching the movie, and Jenna came home. And I was like, all right, yeah, Jenna's home. I get to turn off. I'm done. Like, that was kind of like...
that was your excuse?
And I was like, I was going to go back and watch it. I was like, no, I don't want to watch it.
I thought this one was... I thought it was different because it was super, like, over-the-top tropey. And something like this couldn't... I mean...
What does tropey mean?
It's very semi-stereotypical. Like, they brought a lot of that in. And we got to be dangerous here because it's 4 white guys sitting around the mics, but it was... how do I dance around this correctly?
I wrote this in my notes. You couldn't make this movie today.
You could not make it today. It had a lot of it had like the black stereotypical movie 90s lifestyle.
Dancing grandmas in church.
Yes, and it was like there was people getting there's people getting shot in the streets, and a woman would come up, be like, "Oh no, my son," and it's like, "Oh no, that's not your son," and she's like, "Oh okay," and then walk away, and like that's funny. Like in a real simple slapsticky way, but like realistically, if you think about it, it's like I don't think that's so funny. In 2017 watching it, it's like, okay, 20 years old, it's a little different take nowadays because, again, as we jokingly said, Gary's just a maybe like a vortex football toss away from where we are now, where gang violence and people dying in the streets is a real thing. So
that was the best 90s reference on the podcast.
Thank you. With the Whistler vortex.
Nice.
Okay, good.
Well played.
But so anyway, it was so the Wayans brother. Okay, yeah, you're allowed to take in 1996. You're allowed to take those kind of tropes, Adam, and work with them a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. Does it hold up? We're kind of talking about that.
No, I think if you attach like a Tyler Perry name to it or a Wayans brother name to it, you kind of know what you're getting into, and then that's how they get away with stuff like this. But like if you put like a Christopher Nolan name on it, I think that's where you would get your...
Right.
Can you imagine if Christopher Nolan made this movie?
The dolly shots would be a lot better. No, but it's just... I don't know. It like rubs me the wrong way because it's... And again, we're 4 white guys sitting around some microphones. So we...
Wait... What did you just assume of me?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Patrick. You don't identify.
He's native Irish American.
Okay, that's
Thank
true.
you.
But it's over the top, and it's, I don't know, it's like I want to like defend black people for this movie.
I wrote like I felt like that this movie is pretty offensive.
I would feel that if someone watch this movie today would be like, man, come on, like this is not how. Yeah, we got it rough, but like, come on,
there's a difference between being funny and just being like, I don't know,
over the top.
It was over the top, I thought.
Yeah,
but hey, 96 standards are different than 2017 standards.
No, so let's put 1996 glasses on. Very, very large glasses. I mean, it was over the top in some of that. I mean, if you're watching with those eyes on, actually, in fact, John was here for, what was the...
Naked?
No.
The Wayans brother?
No.
Were you here on the last Wayans brother movie?
I was,
no. But also when you were here, we talked about...
we'll do a scary movie next time you come.
Who's the Jewish director? Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles. Now, that's another one that's like, man, you watch it, and if you just... put your blinders on and you're in 1970 whatever, like, okay, it could be funny in its time, but realistically, if we're keeping everybody's feelings involved, it's dicey.
That's a bad comparison.
But I don't think so. I think
so.
Explain how. How racism can be different, I mean, humor-wise, for different people talking about it.
Because in Mel Brooks' 1970s Blazing Saddles, it's making fun of how people viewed race in the Old West. It's not a modern day. This is modern day. This is how, I mean, this is all black trope actors, kind of exploring the difficulties of the hood. I mean, but in a funny way. Is that something we should be? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not gonna be a social justice warrior about this movie at all. But it's like it just seemed over the top for me. Maybe it was over the top for you. I agree with that, but I just don't think you can apply I don't think you can apply the same standard to that movie where it's a timepiece making fun of racism in like a time in the Old West it's a little different. Well, I can't explain why.
I think it's. I'm going to go exactly opposite of you. In the Mel Brooks movie, racism and that culture was a certain way. You watch that movie, it was a certain way. In 1996, you watched how the hood was done. If you watch it that way, it's a funny movie in its own way. But now, looking back, maybe it's different for both.
I think it's different making fun of people 100 years ago versus making fun of people present day.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. You're bringing actual Wild West or whatever it was, whatever the era was for Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
Okay.
1800s.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Not 1970s.
Right.
I gotcha. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. John, looking at you, man. What do you think? Hold up, 1996. Put some goggles on. I don't care what you do. Did you watch this one back in the day, or is this your first viewing?
I watched it back in the day, so I wanted to see if it held up. And man, I had it with different glasses than all of you guys because I enjoyed it.
Okay,
it wasn't a hilarious comedy. It wasn't the best thing ever.
Well, it's the Wayans brothers. So.
My wife, she watched half of it with me before she fell asleep, but she falls asleep all the time.
Sure,
so it's okay.
Insomnia.
Oh,
classic.
Pregnancy. Same thing.
Pregnant insomnia.
But I mean, from opening the door and hitting the cyclist.
No, when Adam said that, all I thought it was like, robot camels.
I got that recorded, by the way. We gotta watch that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's a quick movie by it's not Robot Chicken, but who does
Family Guy.
Yeah, and so they goes, at least they don't have robot camels.
It's a Star Wars spoof.
And he goes,
we talked too much about this.
And then
already.
the AT-AT comes out and he goes, yeah, robot camels. But anyway, moving on quickly.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I smiled, I chuckled at times. I guess the way I was viewing, I mean, it didn't have any story whatsoever. It was essentially just a bunch of, hey, this is a funny joke. Hey, this is a funny joke. And just one-offs throughout the entire thing.
Sure.
I mean, I laughed. I thought it was funny, which is odd because looking back when we watched Blazing Saddles, I didn't find it as funny. So I don't know if my humor's still stuck back in the 90s, which it could be.
Maybe you're just a Wayans fan.
Well, Naked was awful.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, which I'm glad we got to see another Naked Wayans in this movie.
You picked it, man.
That's why I said I was glad.
You're like
there was a lot of the
Wayans.
There's a lot of not so clothed men in these movies, and that's not a trend I want to keep going on. But no,
you're right.
No, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I didn't think about it as kind of making fun of real problems. I was just watching that kind of spoofy, slapstick, over the top thing.
Right.
Way.
That makes sense, man. Patrick, what do you think about this one? You're a huge Wayans fan, so did you like it? I mean, did we?
I did not like this movie. I hate that it was like John was saying, it was just like a one-off here and then a one-off there. I'm like, how do you visualize this movie as you're going through the storyboard for it?
Right.
I don't. It infuriates me that this movie was made for any amount of money by any studio,
right?
And they greenlit it, and then they filmed it, and I'm so worked up over this awful movie. It's got a 6.6 on IMDb. Like,
dude, 6.6 is that's yeah. If you're watching the live feed,
I think the title boosts it up 2 points automatically.
Well, yeah,
because
2.0s.
2.0.
Oh man. Okay.
That could be. That makes sense. I mean, those long titles usually mean some serious business is happening, but as Patrick shakes his mic, he doesn't think so.
Hey, Patrick, this grossed more than The Founder did.
I know, which is crazy,
just fine.
right?
Like you said on that.
And so for Gremlins, I adjusted for inflation, to see what it was made for, how much it grossed.
Classic Patrick.
All that good stuff. But this
Patrick,
movie...
the next chairman of the Federal Reserve of IMDb budgets.
No, thank you. Because if I have to ever adjust any sort of monetary value for a movie with more than 8 words in its title, I'll blow up again.
That's your wheelhouse?
My wheelhouse for title is
that's another pillar. It's been a while since you guys had a pillar.
This is the 417th pillar. It's a large
We
building.
got a stable cast.
But I think, like, when people think of this movie, like, the title just makes it unique.
Yeah.
And it makes it stand out just because of the title. And that's, like, the only thing it's got going for it. Right. I mean, like, okay, hey, Marlon Wayans, why don't you braid your hair and put a dime bag in one side and a joint out the other and a baby sucker on the other? Why? I don't know. It's just stupid. It's funny. Ha! Right? No, it's not funny. Why? Fix your damn hair.
It's a lot of emotions.
We got to the core right there. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, before we get any more heated, John, I'm going to
Why is there an antenna at the top of his head?
Yeah, he does
the
have
whole movie. The entire movie.
Make some space.
And it was crazy how he got his top lip on the right to go about 6 inches high, and then his bottom lip on the left to go another 4 inches down. His mouth was separated kind of like this the whole time. How do you act like that? I would say you'd just stay like that.
He didn't act.
That makes you a great actor.
Well, he wasn't acting at all during the movie. And I got to say, one of the breaking points for me was when I'm sitting down watching this movie, I'm sitting here scoffing at my TV, and to the left of me, I hear Val go, I'm like, did you just laugh at this? Did you just laugh at something?
I feel so sorry for Val.
A rift in the relationship.
The
breaking
one part,
point.
There was one joke that I legitimately laughed at.
Don't, please tell me no.
Yeah,
Come on.
No, it happened. It's when he's talking to this one girl and like, what's your name? It's like Dashiki. It's Swahili for doggy style. I was like, I did laugh at that one. That's funny. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care who you are.
Right.
That's funny.
That's a good one right there.
Funny.
All right.
You didn't chuckle when he was taking swings at the kids?
I was like, this is just child abuse. Why is he punching children? There's no reason for him to punch a child right now. He could just shove it out of the way.
You take your comedies very seriously.
It wasn't funny.
Yeah, it turned into a drama for Patrick.
He added the crime part. It was a crime to his eyes.
Yeah. All right, John. Well, give us a rewatch recommend. Who has to watch it, and are you going to watch it again?
I mean, I watched it 15 years ago or so, and who knows? Maybe I'll watch it 15 years from now on the docket again. I'll put it. Nostalgia.
We'll be back. We will be back in 15 years to bring you back on the cast.
I'm not writing that down. You guys got to run that on your own. I'm not making a note about that.
Patrick, rewatch recommend for this one.
Yeah, I guess I'll probably rewatch it and recommend it. No, God, no. Never watch it. Never recommend it.
Adam, looking at you, rewatch recommend.
No, I wouldn't rewatch and recommend, but I do want to see what people think about it. I think it's interesting to know what people think about this movie because it's very polarizing.
Sure.
And I'd like to talk. I would recommend a conversation about it after you watch it. So, but that's about it. I'm not going to rewatch it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Hey, you got to check out Drink Your Gin. No, screw that. That's not going to come out of my mouth.
Is
Adam Peller, 2017, is making a vow to not recommend this movie.
Well, there it is. It's set in stone. I mean,
is it polarizing? I mean, you guys all dislike it, but I'm just kind of like okay with it. I feel like that's not too polarizing.
No, okay. So you're midway through. I mean, I just don't.
Oh, Adam, you got to check out the ending of this movie. It totally changes how you see the first half of it.
Oh, yeah, right. You half robbed it.
That's all I need.
If you guys don't know what robbing a film is, of course, it's 1890studios.com/glossary. We won't reveal it. You got to go to the site.
Should there be another term though if you actually like commit to a portion of the movie and then willingly just say nope?
I think yes. I think you're onto something.
Right. I say we call that Adaming a movie because
I say we call it gin juicing and South Central in a movie.
Like we pay per character. I'm not. There's not enough in the budget to.
Right. Who we got to talk to? We got to talk to
Bezos. SOB upstairs.
We got to charge Bezos some money. He can afford it. We need characters, Bezos.
Give me 280 characters.
Do it now.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say no rewatch, no recommend. I mean, it's not my type of humor. If you like that kind of slapsticky, tropey style humor, hey, God bless you. I'll go ahead and watch a scary movie.
So
if I'm going to watch a Wayans scary movie.
Here's a question for you.
Sure.
Do you like Austin Powers?
The first one, not anymore.
Why is Austin Powers different than this movie?
Austin Powers, the first Austin Powers, I watched a little bit of the second one. I didn't watch the gold one. The first Austin Powers was a direct ripoff of James Bond, which is my favorite series. Sans the last guy, the last James Bond, who's really not James Bond, the blonde James Bond. The first Austin Powers was a direct ripoff of every James Bond trope that existed. So that was worth watching.
That's the correct answer, but
thank you.
It's very it's very slapsticky, no?
No, you're right. No. Yes, you're right. Play on. I like where you're going with this.
That was it.
Okay, no.
I'm finished playing.
You're
finished playing. You take over.
No, you're very right because they take a James Bond, the stereotype of James Bond, the tropiness of all they take James Bond over the top and make Austin Powers 1. And in this movie, they take the difficulties of being a black person in the hood and then exaggerate all of those. So yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, it's very similar to how terrible it is there. Right, moving on.
But going off of what you just said, the reason why I would like an Austin Power movie over this one is because there's an overarching story. There's continuity to it.
Right.
I know that he's doing this because of this, and he's not just going down the street to get shot. I know there's some
there's a reason why he's going down the street.
Do you like Scary Movie?
I like one-liners from the Scary Movie. I'm not going to go and say
because it's troping
the Scary Movies.
No, it's not.
Correct again, Dale. You're on fire.
So I'm just
so everyone loves this movie now.
I don't know.
Come on, guys, come on board.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't like how they trope this style of they took I don't know. They took stuff from the hood and then made it funny. I don't know. I don't know if that's.
I think Adam's just convincing everyone that they actually are on board with this movie.
That's what I'm starting to think.
No, not even close. No, he didn't even watch the whole thing. He rapped.
John, do you like Blazing Saddles?
But I like all those other ones, and I like this one. So yeah,
90s humor.
90s humor
must be. Yeah.
It's very different. I think we're finding that out.
I'm big on the spoofs, so I'm kind of in the 80s section too, they're playing Hot Shots, that stuff.
Pizza the Hut.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, good reference.
If that's ever on it, I'm on the cast immediately.
John, bring us on Liquor Store Aisle for this one.
Has to be a 40. They were the star of the movie. I rarely drink it, but it's usually a fun time when I am.
Nice. Patrick, looking at you, bring us on Liquor Store Aisle.
There's nothing you compare with this movie other than
Old English,
vegetable oil.
No, this. Drink broken glass. I think that might have been used.
Yeah, I think I used that one.
Yeah.
Taking Earth.
Dude, I don't know. This movie was
bringing the throwbacks in.
Awful. This is when we do the recap of the year, this is going to be my least favorite movie that we watched. This movie almost made me quit the NetX.
Wow.
It was really bad.
John, we're coming up on our 1 year episode. What would you like to see in the 1 year
Yes, do tell.
podcast?
Taking Earth, Tank 432.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to be on this now if you're going to make this crap talking.
Maybe it'll taste better the second time around. I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You guys gotta
Doctor
give it a
Strange for
rewatch.
Adam.
Yeah, glass always goes down smoother the second time. Adam, bring us on Liquor Store Aisle for this one. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah, well, I wrote down Steel Reserve 40, but then I was like, wait, I like Steel Reserve. Old English 40.
Right.
Yep. So, that's...
Oh, you did Old English?
Yeah.
So you read my notes.
Maybe.
Old English. That's what I got, too. Old English, it's... the beer is subpar, and in a 40, it's also not my preferred way to drink it because it gets kind of warm if you're not quick after drinking it. So it's not that great of a beer, and it's not the best way to consume it. So it's just kind of...
Or it's Old English in a water cooler like they had at their house.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
I missed that joke. I'll smile at that one.
Nice.
In hindsight.
All right, guys, last one.
You did like that movie.
Say it. Say you liked it. Last one up, guys, Gremlins. This is 1984. A boy inadvertently breaks 3 important rules concerning his new pet. and unleashes a horde of malevolently mischievous monsters in a small town.
Malevolently, what a word.
7.2 on IMDb. This is a comedy, fantasy, horror, 106 minutes. Budget adjusted for inflation, 26.6 million is this rupees? Or?
USDs.
Oh, USDs. Okay. Adam, why don't you roll the trailer?
Rolling.
Steven Spielberg presents Gremlins.
Steven Spielberg movie.
Billy Peltzer has a nice home.
Really? I didn't know he directed this one.
Yeah, Mom, it's me.
A nice job.
Nice job.
And he brings his dog to a bank.
Yeah,
If you're
which is
doing
weird.
it
I would do
Thursday
that.
night, maybe you'd like to go out on a date with me?
I'd love to.
And loving parents
Oh,
who are about to give him
You're gonna like this. No, don't shake it. We're gonna have to.
I love that father's character.
the most unusual
Yeah, I think
gift
he's
he ever got.
What is it?
It's your new pet.
Come on, Barney, be a good dog. My dad gave it to me.
But there are a few things to keep in mind. If you expose it to the light, you may hurt it. If you get it wet, it will multiply.
All that from water? They got wet?
Yeah, plain water.
And most important, no matter how much they beg, never let them eat after midnight. Because when they do,
Midnight.
they change.
Rafe.
They become clever, mischievous,
They threw an envelope out of a mailbox. They broke up window.
Gremlins, huh?
That's a federal crime, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
They're driving
I don't know,
a
maybe
front
thousands.
loader.
They've been here too. Billy, what are these things? Where did they come from?
Look, I know it sounds crazy. I know. But in a few hours, you're gonna have a major disaster on your hands.
That part where she has the stair like chair.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she had a lot of money in the 80s to afford that stair climber.
No, and I told John's like, oh, we're watching Gremlins. You know, we had the docking confusion. He's like, that's the one where she shoots up that little escalator chair. I was like, yes, that's the one. He's like, okay, yeah, I've watched it. But moving quickly along, looking at you, John, Gremlins. You haven't watched this one specific for the cast, do the mix-up, but does it, you're watching the trailer, does it shake you? Does it bring back any emotions?
Oddly enough, I've watched Gremlins 2 several times over the last kind of decade and so. Gremlins 1, I think only once in a long time ago, and I watched the trailer, and I'll probably watch Gremlins 2 if I'm going to watch a movie about little rodents hurting people.
First things first, society defying.
Yes, that is technically true. That is technically true. Well played. I didn't even write that in my notes.
Very society defying.
It is. Indeed. And no one acknowledges it at all. Like,
Except
hey,
me.
I got this little, hey, kid, Billy, I got you on Mogwai. Dad, why have you not called the endangered species system, or who have you not notified the government? This is a new species we need to identify and document and protect under federal regulations. Why are you giving this to me as a Christmas present?
Because he loves him.
That was my first. That's the first line of my notes.
That's a bunch of lines. Oh, wow. Patrick, Gremlins, man. What do you think, dude? I mean, did this one stack up? Did you watch it originally at all?
No.
Okay, I didn't either. So what did you think first watching? I mean, 1984, you kind of got to put your head in the 1984 game. Steven Spielberg film. What do you think?
Definitely one of his worst films. I don't know. Like,
I know. When I saw that, I was like, oh, Steven Spielberg. Oh, this is going to be pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
7.2. Oh.
Yeah, 7.2. Do you agree with the IMDb
I do
rating?
not.
Okay.
It's a bad week for IMDb.
Tell me the pinnacle, the upside down pinnacle, I guess. The bottom.
Runtime 106.
What's the opposite of pinnacle?
Base.
The valley.
The valley. Okay.
The Death Valley.
Give me the
Bermuda Trench.
What was the
Ooh,
Marianas Trench of this movie for you? What was the worst part for you?
It was so much setup with so little payoff.
Okay.
I mean, it's just right outside of Wheelhouse, and it's easily an hour 10 of setup, and then everything happens, and you're just like, that was not worth it. It took me several sittings to get through this. The first time I got through the first maybe half hour of it, and then I got a notification that some YouTube person uploaded something. I was like, I'm going to switch to that. Watched a 5-minute clip, and I was not coming back to Gremlins. Then I started it last night again after the Hood, and
right.
I was just not in a good mind frame, so I watched the next half hour, and then today during my lunch I tried to finish it up and
try
I was
to get dragged back to it.
Yeah, and I was like, I'd just rather do work, so I just did work.
So you skipped the rest of your lunch and went back to work.
So you Atomed it. Did you get to the end?
I want to say yes.
But were there credits?
Did I get to the credits? No.
That's always a telltale sign, right? That it's over. You're not watching any more movie anymore. So you just barely made it to the end. Adam, do you love this one? Hate this one? Talk to me.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it, but
Okay.
I don't like it.
Well, why?
Tell us more things you don't.
Sure.
Hate and love are strong words.
Indeed.
And I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
I didn't see it before.
Yeah.
It was the first time I ever watched it, and it was it's our Christmas movie of the week, and it takes place at Christmas time. But that's about it. There's really nothing Christmas-esque about it besides that.
Right.
I just thought I couldn't go over all the plot holes, and then I was like, okay, get past that. It's an '80s movie
Right.
about
Break it down.
freaking
Break it down.
Gremlins. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But then it was just all just like Gremlins,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
That's not.
Let me stop you right there at the Gremlins. First of all, they have control of the English language.
Definitely.
That's what I said, why don't they speak Chinese or Mandarin or whatever?
Dude, Adam, you started off this, talking about how the dad should be on the phone with, the DNR or whoever to get this, species in the books. But they speak English.
Yeah.
They're able to speak words.
Yeah.
So, we're not worried about that at all?
What is the chemistry of them where water makes them multiply?
Right.
What other species in the history of the Earth H2O means reproduction?
Yeah. That's
algae.
So it's intelligent algae. Multi-organism intelligent algae. This needs to be studied. That's all I'm saying. And then what do? This is the same thing in Stranger Things. Oh, you know who we need to talk to? The high school science professor. The high school science professor is the smartest guy in all 80s films.
Right. Yeah, it's true. No, to me, this one was kind of fun. I was doing something else with this thing on the background because it took off. This movie, as we saw in the trailer, his dad is on the hunt for a Christmas gift for his boy and brings home the Mogwai, who he kind of wait, what? Am I dancing? This is all in the trailer.
No, I'm not trying to give you a mantle or anything. I'm just saying he kind of just walked into this. He really didn't.
Well, first of all, let's break this back. We'll take one more big step back. His dad's an inventor, quote unquote, which, he just makes these funny machines.
That would have been a better movie.
He was
me.
a dynamite character, and so he walked into this toy store, with the old Chinese man and his kid or grandson or whatever, and he's trying to sell him a travel
bathroom buddy.
A bathroom buddy. Thank you, Patrick. So it has all the bathrooms.
I watched it.
He's trying to sell this to him, but anyway, he needs a toy for his kid. So also this kid's 18 years old, 17 years old.
Hard to pinpoint, right?
Yeah. So he's driving, obviously, right?
He's driving,
of driving age. So he's
working
16,
full time,
right?
Maybe going to college.
But it's time to get his kid I think my 18-year-old son wants a puppy. That's what my 18. It wasn't that long ago when we were all 18. It was puppy on our. Actually, okay, that's bad. I was close to that age when I did get my dog. But anyway, but it's so the dad's going around. He buys a Mogwai and he tells his son what not to do, what to do to keep this thing alive. From then on, so we're 10 minutes in. Then it's. Well, he breaks all, or the rules are broken, and then it's just Mogwai terror for 85 to 90% of this film. And so if you're watching for just these things terrorizing the town. I mean, we saw the trailer, and I'm blowing that. They just terrorize. It is 90 minutes of society-defying, Mogwai-driven terror. These guys are driving forklifts, driving into houses. I mean,
This is all on Christmas Eve.
They're terrorizing the neighborhood. The lady in the mobile staircase chair thing, you know, she gets all. You gotta watch
high speed.
It's all about Gremlin anarchy.
I mean, I just think it's funny because it's like the setup is I'm just finding something for my son, and he's a sweet kid, and let me get him, and he's like late for work, so you're like, oh man, like I feel bad for you, and then it's just like the whole movie is like Mogwai terror survival mode, like Jurassic Park. You know, dinosaurs are just taking over basically.
So when did Chucky come out? Because that sounds very similar to, you know, same thing. Get a small toy for a child.
Right.
Toy goes rampant. Spends the rest of the movie.
Terror ensues.
Yeah, and everyone, I feel like that's kind of cult classic. This is a cult classic.
Right.
Maybe it was something about like seeing it then and just, I don't know.
That
there
could
seems to be a certain mindset that people enjoy those, but you watch it and you're like, this is just a bad movie.
Is there a small toy, like a small item horror like that, like just like boomed out of the 80s that just exploded? Because it's like on the same thing. It's on the same lines. Adam's got the book of knowledge right there.
Is it just called Chucky?
Sure. What's Chucky's Bride?
Child's Play. Child's Play was the first one.
1988.
Oh, so it's coming off a four-year long heel.
So Child's Play was like, ooh, this did great.
Steven
We're also going to
knew
make
what he was doing.
Tiny one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a scary movie. It wasn't a funny movie.
It was a silly, chaotic.
It was, that's pretty much what, I mean.
And the characters you never spent a long enough time with to care about them.
And then why was the dad at an inventors conference on Christmas Eve? Who schedules a conference for inventors on Christmas Eve?
It's like a TED Talk.
True inventors.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, I mean, again, we'll stay light, you know.
And apparently Christmas Eve is the best time to commit crimes because that's when all the cops are just hanging out at the station getting drunk.
Yeah, and also
was
one of the
holiday party.
One of the cops there was Jonathan Banks, who we know. He's from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. That is Mike from Better Call Saul.
Oh, no way.
So he's a young, a couple of years ago.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle to
to none of these movies.
From Breaking Bad to Gremlins, we're full circle.
So anyway, that was
Pack
really interesting to see him with hair and everything like that. So that was he did really well. I could see how he got Breaking Bad just from this role. I mean, he's a cop, kind of a dirty guy. He was hammered on the job. So does it correlate? I don't know. But either way, so I hate how they have control over the English language. Okay, no, I already read that. I don't know. Like, does this one hold up? I mean, is it silly enough? Is it funny enough? Is it 80s enough for a rewatch? I mean, John, I don't know. Like, I a handful of 80s films always can return to. But, like, this one, is it the humor that it's missing? Is it the story that's weird? Is it a horror Christmas that you can't watch it all year? What's the deal?
I mean, I'm basing this all off really Gremlins 2, which each time I watch it, I kind of enjoy, but I go in accepting like, all right, there's these little things, they're going to run amok and bad stuff's going to happen. You guys seem to be psychoanalyzing this very intently.
This is what we do.
How come all these things are happening?
Why do they speak the English language?
Well,
we can harness these.
When you give them food after midnight,
just like the Japanese did.
They learn the English language. That was one of the things, right? Is that one of the rules?
Yeah. I think it's in there. I don't know if the Chinese guys
fried chicken they ate.
Yeah, they really got quickly on board with the English language. So, what are these plot holes all about? Am I right? I mean, Patrick, are you gonna let's just can we go into rewatchability? Or we got more to break down in this one? I think it's very simple.
No, I think you hit it on the head. I like the dad character.
The mom's just sweet. I mean,
mom's typical 80s mom,
exactly.
kick-ass mom.
Sure,
mom solve all problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the Gremlins. I think the appeal of the movie in the 80s was like, look at these little things and making that work with like puppets or however
and I will stop you right there. 1984, the animation of these plastic rubbery things, as far as like shooting, like if you're on the production team, they are pretty demonizing. I mean, for 1984, when did Jaws come out? What was that year?
7. Hang on, I'll go.
Okay, so Jaws did a much better job, which is a shark. But anyway, I can see how that was pretty, in 1984, how that was pretty cool, how they could drive and how they could like manipulate stuff. And
1975 for Jaws.
They all, okay, so that was a little bit beforehand. That was a scary shark. But the shark didn't show up till the end. But anyway, it was.
alert.
I mean, so I mean, yeah. If you're in a 1984 sense, I mean, yeah, it's an 80s. It's an 80s film. I mean, take it for what it is. If we're done breaking it down, Patrick, I'm going to send it to you for rewatch and recommend, man.
I won't rewatch it, and I'm definitely not going to recommend it.
Not even as a Christmas horror.
No.
Okay. Adam, looking at you.
Yeah, same here. I might want to check out Gremlins 2, though.
There we go.
See how that goes.
Put it on the docket.
Is it on? On Netflix?
I have no idea. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch that one.
Oh, okay.
There's my rating for that one.
John, what about you? Rewatch, recommend, man.
No.
Are you going to like watch it just to? Because
I mean, it would be a rewatch still. I've watched it once before.
You watched it about a decade ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it'll stay there forever. I know the concept. I'll watch the second one.
You're not going to tell it. You're not going to reach out to that one buddy like Gremlins. He's got to watch it.
No. In terms of bad Christmas movies that aren't really Christmas movies, I think Last Action Hero. I'll keep going to that one.
So you're going to go to that one. I'm on the same boat. I mean, there's plenty of other faux Christmas ones to watch, I suppose. I mean, this one just didn't hold up for me. I won't tell anybody. I won't revisit it, but we got to bring it down the liquor store aisle, as always. Going to send it to you, Adam. Drop us through Lico.
Well, I think this movie's kind of for kids, so it's not really a liquor movie, but I gave it a Capri Sun that you can't open, that you keep like jabbing at it.
The straw doesn't pierce?
Yes. And when you finally do, you're like, I'm not even thirsty anymore.
Right. Patrick, what about you, man? Liquor store aisle.
I'd like to give it candle wax, because
like liquid heated candle wax?
Yeah, and then it's just like hardening in your throat.
Oh, boy.
You're just like, why did I do this? So.
Oh,
God. John, looking at you. Bring us on a liquor store aisle if you can.
Hard to follow up candle wax.
Yeah, tough.
For me,
glad I went before you.
for me, I'm not a big fan of eggnog, so I'll say eggnog just because, I mean, sure, you can have it during the holiday season, just like you can watch this during the holiday season, but why not just drink all the other good alcohols out there?
Right. Yeah, it is.
I don't think I've ever had eggnog.
It's pretty good.
Ooh, just like you never watched Gremlins.
Recommend?
Hey.
Once. Sure. And when the eggnog starts talking to you, question
once,
things.
but not a re-drink.
Yeah.
Once you drink enough eggnog, it does start talking to you. Let's be honest.
In English?
Well, whatever. Well, you'll understand it.
How does eggnog know the English language?
Right. They have control of the English language. He shot himself. Throwback to a past podcast. My drink review is, this is Kool-Aid. Okay, so did you make Kool-Aid as a kid, John? Did you make it like in the pitcher yourself, or no? You get the packets and stuff?
My mom made it as I was a kid, but in college I made it.
Okay, so you made Patrick, you know how Kool-Aid's made, right? You understand like
sugar and water.
There you go. You know how Kool-Aid's made, Adam, of course?
Yeah.
Does the live studio audience know? You want to?
Anybody? Okay. So they understand. What I think my drink review is you're going to go and make Kool-Aid. So you dump like the packet of blue in, and then you forget to put the sugar in.
Oof.
And so it's like, yeah, hey, look, guys, it's a Christmas horror movie. It's a blue drink like we're supposed to drink. All right, here we go. It just forgot the sugar. It just forgot the sweetness. It forgot to bring in the stuff that you want to watch it in 2017. It just can't hang, and I'm not going to drink any more of this, and it just can't hang. That's where I'm at. I'm at a blue. It's got to be blue. Blue Kool-Aid, no sugar. That's where I'm at.
I thought you were going to say put the salt instead of sugar in there just to make it 10 times worse.
Oh,
and then I would have agreed.
Like that one.
You got the wrong bag of.
Still no candle wax.
Save that one for later. Put it in your back pocket.
Right. Well, hey guys, that's it. We've managed to get through. I mean, a successful podcast. I mean, maybe John missed one due to Donna and her bad email skills, but hey, we're all here, and we want you guys to just interact with us. We want to reach out and touch the public. We're out on Facebook, guys. We're the Netflix Explorers. You can search us up there. I think our shows pop up there, Adam. I'm looking at you as our social media engineer.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're up there, and Adam will confirm your friend request, and we'll communicate. That's what's most important. Guys, we're on Twitter as well. TheNetX. Follow us there. Befriend us. Also, our shows pop up there if you're a Twitter only and a face bag, like anti-subscriber. We're up there. Also, we're on iTunes. Find us on iTunes. Subscribe. Leave us a rating. We love that stuff. That helps us get seen and helps us get heard. So we greatly appreciate it, right? I mean, we go to the 1890studios.com. That's 1890studios.com. Patrick will throw some sort of poll up there. We want you guys to vote. You have to vote.
Make your voice heard, people.
Make your voice heard.
Also, there's a little thing. If you want to tell us what you want to watch, if you don't want to email us, there's a little short answer. Just pop in YouTube videos.
Yeah,
whatever you want us to watch, just let us know.
Right, and so you're hearing Patrick's sexy voice, Adam's just luxurious voice, and John's booming, manly voice. And we got pictures of us up there. We want to get you to the site. You can see us. It's almost like you're here with us. Right?
Sure.
It's very exciting.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah. So exciting.
Hit us up. Social. We're very social. John, thank you so much for being on the Netflix Explorers podcast, man.
Great to be here. I'll take the fall on those two of the three that no one really liked, but hey, had good discussions here, and that's what I strive for.
We're here
good
to talk.
discussions.
We're here to explore Netflix, and you definitely brought us to the depths, man.
No.
Well, not depths.
A little backhanded compliment there.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry.
My face hurts a little.
Oh, man.
I'll be back soon.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. That was not well put. We're just happy you brought a great docket in.
Pleased to be here. Yeah.
I can do this all in post. We'll put that in instead of the...
No. Keep it how it is.
Okay, you got
it. The audience heard.
Deal. Patrick, thanks for being on the podcast, man. Glad you made it.
Do you want to do movie of the week?
Ooh, that's...
I'd really like to do that.
Yes.
See.
Yes.
Restart the Jones.
Movie of the week. Let's stop right here. We got plenty of time. Adam, movie of the week. Get off the fence, man.
It's not hard. It's sculpted.
I guess
is the movie that way?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, you're right. I guess the guy got pump iron.
Pumping Iron, Patrick.
It's Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron, John.
It's Don't Be Menace. Yeah, Don't Be Menace.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and actually say Gremlins. Of all these films, this is the one I could pay attention to the least, and I thought it was. I mean, it was a perfect background film. It didn't make me feel terrible. Didn't make me feel great. And that is that, I suppose. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. So I said goodbye to all you guys, but the last guy sitting across from me, Adam, he's got a big yawn. He's ready to shut it down. It's good to have you, man.
Yep, sorry for the yawn when he kicked over to me. But yeah, good cast, man. I learned 2 new words today.
What is that?
Trope and malevolently.
Malevolently.
So that's
nice.
a successful podcast as any. So.
Okay, cool. We're happy you learned something.
Hey, man. Happy to be here. Great job driving.
Cool. And happy December to everybody. We're just inside of it. So here from the Netflix Explorers podcast at the 1890 Studios, we have to say adios and arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Then just edit it. You can do it.
It's all in post, man. The best work we do is in post. Let's be honest.